Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of Salazar Insight. Today's topic I'm titling Preparing for the Afterlife. Yes folks, I'm talking about death. Death is something that, as you all know, is unavoidable. It's going to happen to all of us. But the one thing that should not be avoided is talking about it and preparing for it. What do I mean by that? If anyone has ever had to deal with the passing of a loved one and has to be involved with the preparation of things such as funeral services, notifications, dealing with wills and all that, you understand that it's a very lengthy process and sometimes could be a little bit complicated. What I want to tell you folks today is, if you have elderly parents, older parents, and they have not done things such as a will, advance directives, or things of that nature, it's important that you sit down with them and have a conversation and address these issues. We're dealing with a older generation that doesn't like to talk about dealing with that, and it's not prepared for it, and they just deal with it as it comes. But it's a lot less burdenful for families if those conversations are had ahead of time. Not only should you be talking with parents, but also you should also be making sure that you're doing what's important for you guys to prepare for your passing. You and your spouse, especially if you have kids, you have to think about things like having a will, doing advance directives, power of attorney, all these things that can get a little bit complicated. And I strongly urge that it's much better to deal with it when you're not under the pressure and having to deal with the loss of a loved one right away. If you prepare for these things ahead of time, it makes a very difficult and challenging situation a slightly bit easier to deal with. What am I talking about this? If someone passes away, or should I say when someone passes away, if there are no preparations ahead of time, there's no wills, there's no paperwork done, the state is going to be more involved in this, and it's going to make the process more complicated when it's something called probate. If you're not familiar with that, but that's what happens when someone passes away, and the state basically is the one that decides who gets anything that's remaining from that person's estate. The way to deal with that is to make sure that there are wills in place, and it could get a little bit complicated, so I really suggest that you talk to an attorney that's familiar with these type of things, because there are things about wills and trusts, and there's so many different options that you need to be familiar with it. That will make it a lot easier. If you're always trying to look out for your family, prepare for them, make sure they have what they need, one of the things that you need to do is prepare them to dealing with that when something were to happen. Have everything in order. One of the things that happens, of course, when dealing with that is the fact that it costs money. Everything from funeral services, just dealing with coroners and, paying any outstanding hospital bills, all that. Now, where's that money going to come from? It is a little bit easier when things are planned out ahead of time and are able to rely on these things that they're set up ahead of time. So what I really urge you today is to please take time to have those conversations, to make plans, do the proper investigations, inquire, contact proper attorneys and officials that will help you prepare this. I mean, there's a lot of resources out there. What I want you to do is to take that step and address it. Move forward. You will feel better, and also your family will feel better that while this is a very difficult situation to deal with and things to talk about, at the end of the day, if you're prepared like for anything else, it would make it a lot easier. All right, folks, that's my insight for today. Sorry, not the most exciting or gloomy topic on a beautiful summer day, but again, it's just one of those things that's reality that we have to go out there and talk about. So, hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a little information, or at least raised a question about some other questions that you should ask. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and feel free to share this. If you have any comments below, please, love to hear from you. And remember what I always say, it's always important to learn to live and live to learn. Until next time, have a great day.